When I moved to a new city, I told everyone I was excited. New start. New routines. New me. But in reality, I was living this weird half-life, where you're surrounded by people all day, yet you can still go days without anyone saying your name out loud. My mornings were always the same. Wake up. Shower. Put on something acceptable. Then leave my apartment with that slightly stiff feeling, like I'm playing a person who has it together. Downstairs, on the corner, there's a small bakery. I started going there because it was the closest place that smelled warm. I ordered the same thing every morning. Not because I loved it, but because making decisions before 9 a.m. feels like a personal attack. Coffee. And whatever pastry looked least likely to crumble on my shirt. And every morning, at the exact same time, there was an older man sitting at the same table by the window. Always. Same corner seat. Same newspaper folded into neat squares. Same slow sip of tea. Like time had never yelled at him once. At first, I did what everyone does in a city. I pretended he wasn't there. Then one morning, the bakery was packed. The barista was overwhelmed. The line was long. I was already late. And I guess my face was doing that. "Don't talk to me, I'm barely alive" thing. As I walked past his table, the man looked up and calmly said, "Good morning." Not in a weird way. Not to start a conversation. Just, like I existed. I surprised myself by answering, "Morning." That was it. 2 words. But as I walked out, I realized I felt less invisible. The next day, I nodded first. "Morning." He nodded back. "Good morning." And then it became a thing. Not a friendship. Not a conversation. Just a small exchange. That somehow kept me from going fully feral. Some days it was just a nod. Some days he'd add, "Cold one today." Or, "You look tired." Not judging. Just stating facts. I'd laugh a little, say yeah, and keep moving. It was so simple. I didn't even realize it mattered. Until the morning it didn't happen. I walked into the bakery. And the corner table was empty. No newspaper. No tea. Just sunlight on an empty chair. And I felt this immediate, stupid disappointment. Like I'd lost something I didn't have the right to miss. I told myself not to be dramatic. People have lives. Maybe he came later. Maybe he stopped coming. Maybe he got sick. I stood there longer than usual, pretending to look at pastries. Waiting. He didn't come. The next day. Same thing. Empty chair. The day after that. Still empty. And now this tiny, quiet worry followed me all day. Even though it felt ridiculous to care about someone whose last name I didn't even know. On the 4th day, I finally asked the barista, trying to sound casual, "Hey, the guy who usually sits by the window. Is he okay?" She paused, then softened. "Oh. Mr. Lechner. So, he had a name. He broke his hip. He's in the hospital. His daughter came in and told us. He was upset because he said he missed his morning routine. And for some reason, that hit harder than it should have. Because I realized I wasn't the only one who needed that routine. That night, I did something I normally wouldn't. I wrote a note. Not a big emotional one. Just a small note on receipt paper. "Hi, Mr. Lechner. It's the girl who walks past your table every morning. The bakery feels weird without you. Hope you're healing fast. See you at the window seat soon. I stared at it for 10 minutes. Like it was a confession. The next day, I gave it to the barista and asked if she could pass it to his daughter. I felt ridiculous. Like, who am I to send a note to a stranger? 2 days later, I walked in and saw an envelope taped inside the pastry case. No name on it. But the barista smiled. That's for you. Inside was a handwritten card. The kind people don't really send anymore. Good morning. Thank you for noticing when I wasn't there. I didn't know your name, so I asked. It's on the back of this card. My daughter said I should stop being stubborn. You were part of my routine too. See you soon. On the back, in shakier handwriting. Your name. I stood there holding that card, trying not to cry in public, because I still had to go to work and pretend I was a functional adult. I wrote my name on the back. Then, without thinking too much, I added, "Window seat is reserved. Don't argue." A week later, he came back. Walker instead of cane. Newspaper still folded into neat squares. He looked up when I walked in and smiled like we'd known each other for years. Good morning. Good morning. Same 2 words. Same nothing conversation. But it didn't feel like nothing anymore. Because the truth is, I didn't move to a new city and instantly build a life. I built it the way you actually build things. One tiny, repeated moment at a time. And sometimes, it starts with something as small as an empty chair and realizing you'd miss it.